Hello, hello. Getting this all ready. Getting our live stream set, everyone. Hello. Going live. Hello, hello. Hello. Good to see you. Hi, everyone. Oh, good. We got Meryl, Carrie, Lachelle, Athi- tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. Amitha. Am I saying that right? Tell me. Tell me if I'm not. We got Leah, Tone. Hey, hello, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So glad that y'all are here. Um, Today in our Prowess Project Live, we are talking all about the top 5 must-haves, must-haves that to have to become a good OBM. OBM, what's an OBM again? Online Business Manager. So, Leah, if you don't mind, please continue to let people in as they join. Hello. Again, you're going to have to help me with the name. Uzunma. How'd I do? How'd I do? Um, Welcome. So glad to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. As always, we put a little something in the chat to get us talking. So, first, what attribute about yourself are you most proud of? And typically, this can be a trait that you like about yourself. It could be something that you do that you really like that you're proud of. This could be something that other people tell you that you're really good at or come to you asking for questions or asking for advice. So I'm curious, put in chat, what are some of those things? And for our people live in Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, let's hear it. What else? What are some of those things? Business advisory. Ooh, unorthodox problem solving and solutions. These are great. Oh, that's fantastic. Resourceful. Another good one. Another great one. I have to say, ooh, how to deal with people issues. Um, Leah actually gave this one to me the other day. She says that I have a really great way of taking information and proposing it in a way that someone with a business mind would really understand. And I was like, okay, thank you, Leah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's something that I'm very proud of. Oh, great. Keep them coming. Keep them coming in chat. These are fantastic. So, again, why we're here, top 5 must-haves to become an OBM. But who am I? I am Ashley Connell, CEO and founder of Prowess Project. And what is Prowess Project? Well, we are an online platform that helps women mainly and caregivers go from home to hired. So how do we do that? As you're going through our platform, we have access to upskilling. So those are our certifications, our courses, and a lot of our free content, access to networking. So, how do you meet people to help you progress your career? And then, as you're interacting, we're gathering hundreds of data points so that we can match you up with the most ideal job possible based on the skills you have, the expertise, and not just professional, but the soft skills and the interpersonal skills that a lot of times you developed in caregiving. So that is Prowess Project, and the vast majority of people who come to us fit into this OBM, online business manager, or more specifically, project management and operations roles, but they aren't really sure how to take those expertise and put them in and market themselves. Like, what is the job title there? Where is the gap in the market there? What can I do and take all of these skills and interests and um, and also tie in the goals that I want for the flexibility and create a role for myself there. And so that's exactly what Prowess Project does. So when we were taking a step back and looking at all of the people who were coming to Prowess Project, what we saw over and over and over again were this talent who were coming to us that were educated, experienced, took time off, or wanted something flexible or wanted something remote, but they said, "You know what? I don't know what I am qualified for now because my background feels more like a patchwork quilt than it does um, this linear trajectory like a lot of my peers. I didn't start off as a associate, then go to a specialist, then go to a manager, then go to a senior manager, then a director. No, no, no. I did some operations, some marketing, some sales, some HR, some technology. So how do I take all of those things plus the communication skills, interpersonal skills that I have created, and weave that into a marketable role. And that is exactly why Prowess Project is doing this deep dive series on online business managers. And so, for a quick overview on what an online business manager is, if you are interested, go and check out our session last week because we did a deep dive of a day in the life and really what it is to be an online business manager. But from a high level, and just so that you understand the rest of today's session, an online business manager is really the virtual support professional for organizations who are looking at not just the trees, but the forest too. And what I mean by that is, yes, you are looking at the daily tasks and making sure that the people, process, resources are all happening, they're operating, they're being orchestrated, but you're also taking all of that and looking from a higher view and saying, okay, yes, all of this is happening, but how is it optimized? How can we grow revenue? How can we grow profit? How can we have cost savings? How can we make sure that our operational efficiency, how quickly things happen and the value that we're bringing to clients happen quicker, more effective, more efficient, right? So that may be through technology, that may be through automations, that may be through a new way of problem solving, that may be through consolidating steps, that might be through looking at and analyzing nurture flows and making sure that it makes most sense or it's speaking directly to the customer. And so, really, if you look at it, you are the business manager. You are looking at the business as a whole and helping it grow and get to its next milestone. Now, if everything that I just described sounds really, really exciting for you, you are in the right place. So, typically, like I said, you would be this like almost like the man woman behind the curtain on how all of the business works. And your counterpart or the client that you work with is typically that visionary mindset. So it's that person who has a deep subject matter expertise, or is really thinking 5, 10 years down the line of what they want to become and how they want to grow their business. And they need someone to take that vision and that grand idea and make it so. And that is your job. So what I also love about this is you're able to take the entrepreneur or the visionaries wild kind of what's the word I'm looking for, like throw everything at the wall and see what sticks ideas and turn it into something, streamlining it, and like I said, making it happen. So who we see is most likely to need OBMs are these subject matter experts. So these can be consultants most of the time. These can be coaches, mainly in the fitness or business arena, who develop and sell online. And so that's really where we're seeing them. What they're using now are typically virtual assistants, but they're saying to us over and over again, that's just not cutting it for us. We need someone who I can say to them, hey, I need a pair of eyes who deeply understands business to look at this and to bounce ideas off of. So, with that being said, I'm going to get into the top 5 must haves. Before I do, any questions that we have. I see a couple more people have joined us and have joined us on Facebook and joined us on LinkedIn, YouTube. Oh, great to see all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do chime in and tell us what are some of the attributes that you absolutely love, and we'll just continue along the way. So, the top 5 things that we hear that makes it a successful OBM. So, first and foremost, I want to share with you what Prowess Project is really doing and why we are different from other organizations out there. So, Leah Steinkirk, our amazing COO, is like an OBM on steroids. She just truly can take anything that me, the visionary, comes to mind and how I want something to work, or where I see the future, my big dreams or my big mission or my um, just kind of craziness sometimes, and makes it happen. So what we are able to bring to everyone in our ecosphere is that operational mind of Leah, who has done this for multiple clients, multiple companies, and can really talk about the how, and also me, who is a visionary, is an example of a client that you would have, and is constantly talking to other visionaries, coaches, consultants, subject matter experts who need exactly what you can offer, which is very different than someone who says, hey, I've been an operator and I can do all these operations, so I'm going to teach you how to do that, right? So I say that because what we are showing here is what I am hearing from the 20 different employers that we have spoken to in the last week. So, first and foremost, in an online business manager, they absolutely need someone who is strategic. What does that mean, right? That can feel kind of fluffy. But what I hear over and over and over again is I need someone who understands business. I need someone who can pinpoint growth opportunities. I need someone who is going to pinpoint cost savings and is constantly looking at my bottom line so that I don't have to, right? They're also saying, I want someone who is thinking about how everything I do fits in together and making sure there is a common thread throughout that entire experience that your clients have, and your clients ecosphere has with them. So what that means is you are working with the visionary and looking 3, 6, 9 months in advance and saying, hey, if we want to get here, how do we back that up from a metric standpoint in order to make that happen? How many leads are you going to need? How many consult calls are you going to need? How many emails are you going to need? How many podcasts are you going to have to get on? How many lives are you going to have to do? And who can really create that plan, make sure that it's happening, but then also has the foresight and ability to shift if something in the market changes, if something in the offer changes, if you discover a new or find a nuance in the leads that you are going after, you need to change messaging. So that's really what they mean by this strategic person who is constantly steering the ship and making sure it's on course. So that's number 1, strategic. Number 2, proactive. I hear this every single day, and this is what they mean. So I'm going to be super general here because I do in no way mean that this is the entire group that I'm about to generalize. But a lot of the clients who have come to us have said, yes, I have hired a virtual assistant. And it started off great when I had exactly what to give them to go do. This is exactly what it is, right? And they were like, it was fantastic. But then I needed someone who was going to lean forward a bit more. I needed someone who was going to pinpoint, hey, you may be low on cash. I needed someone who was going to say, kind of back to this strategic, who's going to say, hey, I think that you should do content on this because I see that this content is performing better. Not that virtual assistants can't and won't do that. That's not the case. It's just the experience that we're hearing is that is not the case for the clients that are coming to us, and they want someone who is going to lean forward. Now, there is a difference between being proactive and steamrolling, right? And that has everything to do with the communications that the person has, and something at Prowess Project we deeply talk about and coach on how you come off as a resource and a confidant and a not quite a peer, so to speak, because this person has been living their business for years and has a ton of tribal knowledge, and you're coming in and offering best practices, but you don't want to go in and say this is the only way that this can be done, or you should. No one likes getting shit on, right? No one likes getting shit on. Write that down. No one likes getting shit on. So we got strategic. We got the proactive, leading forward. The next one, and this one I see is a massive, massive, massive gap. Massive gap in the market. They need someone who is tech savvy. Tech savvy. Now, this does not mean you know how to code. This does not mean that you have a background in cybersecurity. This does not mean that you are an engineer. This means that you are someone who can take no-code tools, who can take webhooks, who can take the different platforms that exist out there, tie them all together based on the needs of the business, and make sure that everything is automated. I speak to so many entrepreneurs, so many consultants, so many coaches who are like, God, if only I had the time to learn XYZ platform, I think I could do it. But I'm like, do you want to learn X, Y, and Z platform? And like, no, I'm actually not good at technology at all, but I know I need to do it in order to make it happen. I was like, well, what if someone who actually liked technology, who would lean into it, who is super efficient and effective on it, could do that for you? And they're like, what? That exists? I thought that I didn't even know that that was out there. So this idea of being tech savvy is really, really important in staying on top of, again, this is why it's an online business manager, the different tools that the online space has to offer so that you can keep your client and their business as cutting edge as possible. Does that make sense to everyone? Unless you ask a question, I'm going to keep on going. Good. I got a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we did strategic, proactive, tech savvy. Next. And this one's a kind of a duh, but I'm giving you a bonus. So anyway, operations oriented, right? You absolutely have to have someone who thinks in the mind of process. When I'm never going to do something once, right? I'm going to do something once. And as I'm learning how to do this, I'm also creating SOPs, standard operating procedures. I'm also documenting this on Loom to make sure that we have a bank of to-dos and tutorials moving forward. Thinking about how do I take this big problem, right? Or big mission or big goal and chunk it up into all these different pieces to make it all happen. And so that it all ties together. So operations oriented, like I say, it's a bit of a duh, but it is so incredibly important because lots of clients or potential clients or prospects or coaches or consultants out there, they may not know the term online business manager. They are starting to. And I'm seeing that over and over again. But what they say they need is someone to help with operations, but really they need so much more. And when we describe what an online business manager does and helps educate them, in Prowess Project is doing that nurturing on your behalf, doing that educating on your behalf, they get it. They see how much beyond just an operations person they really need. So that is number 4. We got strategic, proactive, tech savvy, operations oriented. And number 5 is empathetic. Empathy. I know that most of you on the phone, if not all of you, are caregivers. Based on the data, you have empathy and emotional intelligence in spades. That is what you have to do all day, every day when taking care of family, friends, or loved ones, what have you. So this is so, so key. But why is empathy so important for an online business manager? Well, first, you are touching every aspect of the business. A lot of these consultants have several contractors that they're outsourcing. So and oftentimes you are that person who is managing all of those contractors, who is making sure that everyone is doing their job, making sure that you are getting the results or the metrics so that you can create the reports to send up to the client to make sure that the team and the business is headed in the right direction. So really it is so incredibly important that being empathetic and having strong empathy is part of your toolkit. Another reason why I hear all the time that empathy is so important is when you are working with a consultant, when you are serving a coach, oftentimes their sale is very high touch. It's very relationship driven. It is not transactional at all. It is very needs based. It is very, I want to get to know you to make sure that you are a good solution or that we are a good solution for you. It is can be very individualized. And that takes someone who is very empathetic, someone who understands communication, someone who understands emotional intelligence, who is sensitive to other people's needs, body language. Are they leaning in? Are they leaning out? Are their eyes lit up? Are they not? Are they scared? And can match that tone, can match that energy. And that is so incredibly important. So, any questions there? Those are five. And of course, I have a bonus. Any questions? Awesome. If you have questions, go ahead and raise your hand. There's like in the reactions, there's a way to raise your hand, I believe. Yeah, perfect. So, and then I will absolutely call on y'all just to make this as easy as possible. All right. And the bonus. And I love this one because I feel like a lot of you are. You're gonna be like, oh, thank God. This is something that I can do in spades too. The one, or no, not the one thing. One of the things that I hear so many of these consultants and coaches say they want is someone who is super scrappy, someone who will make a lot out of a little. They are happy to invest in good talent. They are happy to share the wealth when the business is doing well, but they want to make sure that they do not have someone who is coming in who's saying, hey, Karen, the client, hey, Karen, the coach, you, Karen, the coach, you should come in and you need this technology for $500 a month, this technology for $400 a month, this extra person for $1,000 a month, and all of these things. No, no, no. As someone who is super scrappy, what are some free tools that you can use to get 80% there, right? Because we always want to be thinking about the 80-20 rule to get 80% there. And if that 20% is really going to make a difference, then their online business manager is going to come to them with a business opportunity and with projected ROI, return on investment, on why that's a good decision and a good investment to make, right? One thing that I absolutely love about Leah, and she did it this morning in one of our meetings, is she was like, hey, we're going to invest in XYZ technology. We've already decided that in a previous meeting. And she said, I don't want any of our expenses going up. So we are going to have, so that we can pay more for this technology, we are going to utilize these two technologies less, and it's going to even out on our expenses. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like literally when she said, hey, we need this other technology, I was like, yeah, okay, sure, yeah. You tell me that you need it. You think that we're gonna make X, Y, and Z if we have this technology, or it's gonna speed you up, or it's gonna help you, or blah, 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 blah. Sure. But then she came to me and said, "Oh, and we're gonna save all this money, and I'm gonna make sure that the money coming out, you don't see any more red on the P&L and the profit and loss statement." That's what I'm talking about, Scrappy. That is what I'm talking about. So again, our 5 for today were strategic, proactive, tech savvy, operations oriented. Yes, I know the duh. Empathy, and our bonus, Scrappy, right? Our bonus, Scrappy. So again, y'all, we are doing a ton of work, Leah and myself, on helping helping the caregivers out there really become this online business manager so that you can have the flexibility you need, so that you are making the money that you want, so that you are using your brain and using your patchwork quilt, so that you are working from home, many of you, or from wherever you want, and make all of these things that we hear happen over and over and over again come to life. And so, as we mentioned on our last call, and we sent out a few emails, we are doing a pilot program because one of the top things that all of you asked for in these 70 to 100 people who registered for last week's event on what the heck is an OBM, you were all asking for training. How do I become this OBM that you're talking about? How do I take my skills and sharpen them so that so I could get clients, or I could upskill and become this? So as we talked about last week, we were offering the 5 free for our pilot. However, we got such an incredible response. Like Lee and I were blown away with all of the people who were interested in this pilot, that we are offering a 50% discount to anyone who wants to register for the pilot now. So what that means is all of the 5 frees have been spoken for. And if you have not heard from us, or shoot us an email if you're confused. Um, and we are offering this pilot for 50% off of what we will be offering it for in January. And so this pilot starts on November 14th, which is a Monday. We are requesting that everyone comes to the 1 hour session a day for 5 days live, right? That is super, super key in order to be a part of the pilot. But we understand that this is like within a week, but we do things quick around here. So we are offering this 50% discount. You can take the OBM course either during the pilot, or watch the recordings between now and January 1st if you purchase within the next few days. So here is the link. Let me send that out. And here is the code. So as many of you know, Leah and I have coaches too. And all of them say never, ever, 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 ever give discounts. Never, ever, 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 ever give discounts. And we're making an exception. There will not be discounts in the future for this certification, but because this is a pilot, and because this may be a little wonky, and because Leah and I are learning along the way, we are happy to offer savings to all of you. But also keep in mind that when you are part of the pilot, we will be asking you a ton of questions and you may even get individual time with us to help us understand what did make sense, what didn't make sense, what you need more support on, what you don't, what you wish you had, what you didn't. And the way that this pilot is designed is, oops, there goes a AirPod. Can you also hear me? Okay, cool. The way that this is designed is not only are you going to get all the skills, because that's great, right? But you could hit up YouTube and get all the skills, right? Or do some research on your own if you really, really wanted to, but that's not enough. That's what I'm hearing over and over and over again from these coaches. What they want is someone to go in with a brain and say, hey, these are the phases that we need to get your business through. This is the audit that we need to start with to ensure that the end of XYZ month, period, what have you, you are getting the results, hitting the milestones, getting the setup, the lead gen engine, the analytics that you so desire. Does that make sense to everyone? So it's not just the skills, it's not just, hey, what tech do I need? It is, how do I talk about this? How do I come off as a consultant? How do I come off as a partner? How do I be that true like version of a mini Leah who is coming to me as a partner and helping me analyze, and someone that I am excited to bounce ideas off of versus someone who is told what to do. Now, if you prefer the latter, great. There are plenty of jobs like that out there. If you want to have this up-leveled experience and up-level offering for clients, I highly recommend that you look into an OBM program. Can I be an OBM without restrictions coming from my current region in Nigeria? That's a really good question. From a legal standpoint, I can't answer that because I'm not a lawyer. What I do know is there are several, well, when have been talking to all of the coaches, consultants, etc., they, no one had a problem with where the OBM was located. All they cared about was, can they do the job? Are they going to make my life easier? So I can't answer that without, or because I'm not a lawyer. Any other questions, y'all? Okay, we are going to keep that OBM or that OBM 50 code open for the next few days. If you have any questions about it, or what it's going to cover, what you want to, or just about it in general, shoot us an email. Quick reminder, this is, one moment, let me get it off to other folks here. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, let us know if you have any questions. Again, we can share more about what we will be covering. It will come in a phased approach, which again is all under the thinking of, how does a client think about this, right? Not you, because it doesn't really matter, right? It matters how the client thinks about this and how you are going to sell this and how you are going to come off as authority, because your value always aligns with how much money you make. Oh, no, what's the good saying there? That's easy to remember. Your impact is a direct result of your income is a direct result of your impact. Your income is a direct result of your impact. Write that down. I love that one. So anyway, and what are we going to talk about next week on our live? Oh, wow, I'm a little bit over. Sorry, y'all. What are we going to talk about next week in our live? It is all about opportunities. There is an endless amount of opportunities to be an online business manager. So we're going to talk about what is a market rate, who needs these, the gap in the market that we are seeing. We're going to talk about, where do you go beyond? Like once you are an OBM, how do you graduate from that? And then what's next? So that's what we're talking about next Wednesday. Here is the link to register. All right, everyone. Any questions before we hop off? Okay, remember, I don't believe in discounts. Just this one time. Because y'all are gonna, I kind of hate this saying, but like, you will be watching the sausage being made. So, but again, that means you'll get a lot of input as well. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. Speak to y'all soon. See you next Wednesday. Bye bye.